So ADA currently finds itself retesting the 50 EMA, and this is following on from my previous update where I mentioned how I was tracking a XY structure, and I was looking at for the Y wave to have bottomed out at 34.21 cents. And since then, we ended up seeing this pump to the upside, and that was then followed by a correction, which would usually retrace anywhere between 50 to 18.2% of the whole motive move. And that region sits between 34.57 cents to 35.76 cents. So you can see that we ended up finding support within that range, and that was then followed by a reversal where, again, we are now retesting the 50 EMA. And so what I'm going to look at for right now is for either a potential XY structure to the upside, like so, or a 5-wave move, where this could be the wave 1, a wave 2, 3, 4, and 5. And within this move here, it does look to be impulsive. So in essence, it's possible that we could have a 5-wave structure that's formed. And so if I drop down to the 5-minute chart and draw this in, so what I'm looking at for is for this to be the wave 1, wave 2, 3, 4, and 5. And in order for this 5-wave structure to be valid, the wave 3 as a minimum requirement will have to reach the 1.6 minute level. So if I just briefly draw that in, so you can see that the 1.6 minute level sits at around 36 cents, which we ended up exceeding. And at the same time, the wave 5 as a minimum requirement will have to reach the wave 3 top. And that level sits at 36.24 cents. So we met the minimum requirement. And typically the wave 5 would reach anywhere between 1.226 to 1.618 of the wave 4. And that region sits between 36.34 cents to 36.49 cents. So we failed to tap into that range, which can happen. It's not too much of an issue, given that we met the minimum requirement. And so since then, it looks like we've had this move to the downside where it's possible that we could have reached the wave 4. So here we reached 35.83 cents. And here we also reached 35.83 cents. So we had a double bottom. So one of two things will be playing out where it's possible that we could have formed the 5-wave structure. Or best case scenario, it's possible that this whole move to the upside could be the wave 3, and what we are forming right now is the wave 4, and we could see a reversal to the upside to then complete the 5th wave. And should that be the case, the wave 4 would usually retrace anywhere between 23.6% to 50% of the wave 3. So that range would sit anywhere between 35.67 cents to 36 cents. So we ended up tapping into that range. And so best case scenario, what I'm after is for the price of ADA to find support at the 200-day EMA level, and then we see that reversal to the upside. And should that be the case, we could potentially see ADA reach anywhere between 36.41 cents to 36.59 cents in the short term. So if I go back to the hourly chart, what you can see is we are within the overbought conditions. And so at some point, I'm looking at for the bears to regain control of the market. And it is possible that we get rejected at the 50 EMA and then we see another correction. And so if that is the case, what we could see is ADA potentially reach anywhere between 34.86 cents to 35.49 cents. And if we were to find support within that region, one of two structures could be playing out where we could either have a XY structure form, like so, or a 5-wave move, with this being a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And if we do just so happen to have this 5-wave structure form, we could even retest the 200 EMA. And if I zoom out and go in the 4-hour chart, you can also see that the bulls still have the momentum. However, they are slowly starting to lose that momentum. And so we could potentially see high highs. And should that be the case, the 50 EMA will be one to be keeping an eye on. And on the 8-hour chart, we are still within the oversold conditions. And the same can be said on the daily chart. And so, yeah, I'm looking out for the bulls to continue to regain control of the market. And ideally, what we need is for the price of ADA to have bottomed out at 34.21 cents to continue to remain bullish. But of course, that's something I'm going to be keeping an eye on over the next few days, and I'll keep you guys updated.